3 countries, endless possibilities. I could have been sipping coffee in Quito or watching ships in the Panama Canal. But here I am, living in Bogota, Colombia. And no, this isn't one of those I came for a week and never left story. This was a calculated choice. I compared the visas, the cost of living, the culture, the weather, and Colombia won, at least for me. And today I'm going to tell you exactly why and why Panama and Ecuador didn't make the cut. Hey, I'm Matt, and this is the Americano, your guide to living abroad, finding better quality of life, and creating income streams that follow you wherever you go. I've lived in multiple countries, tested the visas, run the numbers, and survived the bureaucracies, so you don't have to. If you're thinking about making the leap abroad or just daydreaming about it, make sure you hit subscribe, because we talk destinations, visas, cost of living, and how to actually pull this off without draining your bank account or losing your mind. This isn't my first rodeo when it comes to choosing where to live abroad. I've been traveling internationally for decades, and I even hosted a travel show on Amazon Prime called Places to Go. We filmed in Panama City as well as Bocas del Toro, and I even made a scouting trip to Quito, Ecuador. So when I say I looked at Panama, Ecuador, and Colombia, I wasn't just Googling best countries to retire cheap. I've been there. I've walked the streets. I've eaten the food. I've talked to locals and expats. And here's the thing. Each country had something amazing to offer. I mean, Bocas del Toro, it's gorgeous. But for me, that's a 1-week tropical escape, not a forever home. Panama City, Casco Viejo is beautiful, but outside of that, it didn't really grab me. Plus, those torrential downpours can turn the city into a slip and slide really fast. In Quito, I actually really liked it. Colonial charm, mountain views, vibrant markets, it was a serious contender. But Colombia had the range. From the cooler climates in the mountains to the beaches on both coasts, to the food scene in Bogota and everything in between. And as someone who runs a business internationally, I need good internet, good flights, and an environment that keeps me inspired. Colombia kept checking boxes I didn't even know I had. One more thing, Panama and Ecuador both use the US dollar, which sounds super convenient until you realize it can nudge prices up compared to places like Colombia that have their own currency. And when you're living somewhere full-time, those little differences start to add up. So let's start with Panama. On paper, it's a digital nomad's dream. They've got the Friendly Nations visa, which makes residency one of the easiest in the world. You're on the US dollar, which makes banking and budgeting straightforward. And if you're into offshore business setups or territorial taxes, Panama's been a go-to for decades. Plus, flights in and out of Panama City are fantastic. Tocumen Airport is basically a mini hub to everywhere. And Bocas del Toro? Absolutely stunning. I could park myself in a hammock for a week there and be perfectly happy. But for me, that's a vacation spot, not a home. After a while, the island time pace would probably drive me a little crazy. Now, Casco Viejo, I loved it. Colonial architecture, great food, nice little nightlife vibe. But outside of that historic small district, Panama City just didn't grab me. A lot of the city feels very modern in a generic way. Kind of like you could be in Miami or parts of Dubai. And then there's the rain. When it pours in Panama City, it's like someone just flipped a switch to torrential and forgot to turn it off. And here's the kicker. While Panama still has affordable spots, especially outside the capital, Panama City's prices have been creeping up. You can definitely live well there, but you'll pay more for it compared to places like Medellin or Bogota or even Quito. And if you're earning in US dollars but spending in US dollars, you're not getting that juicy currency exchange benefit like you do in Colombia with pesos. So for me, Panama had some solid wins, but it just didn't feel like home. It was more like a place I'd visit for a business or a quick escape, not where I'd build a life. Next up, Ecuador. I've got to say, I really liked Quito. We did a scouting trip there and it surprised me in the best way. The colonial architecture is gorgeous, the markets are bursting with colors and smells, and the mountain views, absolutely unreal. You've got this cool, crisp air at altitude that feels amazing if you're not into the tropical heat. Ecuador has a lot going for it. It's very affordable, especially outside the big cities. You can get beautiful housing for a fraction of what you'd pay in the US, groceries are cheap, and fresh produce is everywhere. And like Panama, they're on the US dollar, which means no exchange rate math every time you buy coffee. Then there's the diversity of landscapes, beach towns, mountain cities, even jungle. If variety is your thing, Ecuador's got it. And places like Cuenca have built strong expat communities, so you won't be the only foreigner in town if that's important to you. But here's why I didn't choose Ecuador. Over the last few years, there's been some political instability and a few spikes in safety concerns that made me think twice, especially if I'm putting down roots and running a business. Internet quality is decent in the major cities, but once you get outside them, it can be a little hit or miss. And compared to Panama or Colombia, flight connectivity isn't as strong. If you travel often for work or family, that matters. The other thing is lifestyle pace. Ecuador has this slower, laid-back feel, which is perfect for some people, but for me, it felt a little too slow. I like a bit more energy in the air. So while I truly enjoyed my time in Quito and would recommend visiting in a heartbeat, for living full-time, it just didn't check all my boxes. And then there's Colombia, the country that, for me, just kept stacking up the wins. First, the variety. You want cool, crisp mountain weather. Bogota's got you covered. Eternal spring, Medellin. Tropical beaches, you've got both the Caribbean and the Pacific. And all of that is just a short flight apart inside the same country. Bogota's food scene was a big hook for me. You can grab a 50-cent empanada on the street and then have a world-class tasting menu that same night. And in between, you've got incredible coffee culture that isn't just hype. This is the coffee capital of the world for a reason. On top of that, the cost of living here is still very reasonable, especially compared to Panama City or Quito. The Colombian peso means you're getting more value for your money, whether that's rent, groceries, eating out, or even healthcare. And let's talk travel. El Dorado Airport in Bogota, it's fantastic. It's consistently ranked one of the best in Latin America with strong connections all over the Americas and Europe. For someone who still travels for business and personal reasons, being able to get just about anywhere without crazy layovers is a game changer. Then there's the culture. Vibrant, welcoming, and full of life. The music, the art, the festivals, you don't just watch Colombian culture, you feel it. And as someone who's run an international software company for decades, I need an environment that's inspiring, connected, and full of opportunity. Colombia hit that sweet spot between business practicality and lifestyle excitement. When I lined it all up, the climate, diversity, the food, the travel connections, the affordability, and the culture, Colombia wasn't just the logical choice, it was the one that felt like home. Now, I'm not going to pretend Colombia is perfect. No country is. Living here full-time comes with its quirks, just like anywhere else. So here's the good first. Fresh produce is everywhere and ridiculously affordable. Healthcare is not just inexpensive, it's actually very good. This year, the United States ranks number 37 in the world. Colombia ranks number 22. That's crazy good. And I pay less than $30 a month for my EPS plan, and private care is still a fraction of what you'd pay in the US. You've got vibrant neighborhoods, great gyms, cafes on every corner, and a social scene that can keep you busy every night if you want it. But there are challenges. Bogota traffic can test your patience. Bureaucracy, it's alive and well. Visas, paperwork, and anything involving government offices can take time and persistence. You also need to be ready for a bit of Spanish. Yes, you'll find English speakers, especially in the expat community, but learning the language makes daily life way smoother. And depending on where you live, the weather might surprise you. Bogota can be cool and rainy, coastal cities can be hot and humid. I love that I can pick my climate here, but it's something to think about if you're imagining year-round beach weather. For me, the pros far outweigh the cons. I can run my business, travel easily, live affordably, and still have a rich, vibrant lifestyle. Like anywhere, it's about fit. If you thrive on variety, connection, and a little bit of organized chaos, Colombia might just feel like home to you too. At the end of the day, choosing where to live abroad isn't about finding the best country on some top 10 list. It's about finding the best fit for you. For me, Colombia ticked the boxes that mattered most. Variety in climate, a vibrant culture, strong travel connections, and a cost of living that actually made sense. But Panama or Ecuador could easily be the right call for someone else, depending on what they value most. If you're serious about making a move, my advice is simple. Visit each country. Spend a few weeks, not just a weekend. Live in the neighborhoods, shop in the markets, test the internet speed, and see how it feels. It's the only way to know for sure. So that's why I chose Colombia over Panama or Ecuador. It wasn't just a gut feeling. It was a combination of facts, lifestyle, and that intangible, this feels right moment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss future videos on living abroad, visas, cost of living, and building an income that travels with you. And if you want the inside track, join my free newsletter, The Passport. It's the official newsletter for the Americano, and every week you'll get destination guides, visa updates, and cost of living reports straight to your inbox, plus access to our free online magazine. Until next time, I'm Matt, I'm the Americano, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.